So, Kevin. All right. I have to say my wife is from Harlingen, so welcome to the Harlingen crew. She did not go to South, though. She was there before South was built. Okay, whenever you guys are ready. Great, nice job, Kevin and friends. Yeah, it's really nice. The balance was good, believe it or not, in a gym. Your voice was heard in a really good way. The mallet choice was nice, and your approach to xylophone playing is good. It's appropriate. Most of the time, we have kind of this transfer from marimba playing to xylophone playing where we use the same approach, and in fact we shouldn't. So you're doing a really nice job of keeping your hands low and your mallets low, which you really have to in a piece like this because it moves around so fast. But I think one of the important things about doing a xylophone piece is this learning how to play the instrument. And it's not just, any keyboard instrument is the same as the other. With xylophone, of course, we're typically playing with harder mallets. The targets are smaller. It also cuts a lot more. And a lot of the music that we play is faster. Composers write for it that way because it's effective that way, right? So whether it's ragtime or xylo parts in orchestra music or band music, it usually functions that way. And the other thing that we have to keep in mind, the high stroke that we sometimes use in marimba playing, at some point doesn't do anything for us on the xylophone because the bars are only going to do so much. At some point we can't produce any more sound from it. So if we have a pretty hard mallet and we do that, well, even if we did that, it's not going to give us anything else. So it's just a wasted amount of motion at that point. So I think you're doing a really great job, whether you know what you're doing or not. I trust that you do at being efficient, and xylo playing and Glock playing too. It's the same thing. Efficiency is really key here, so that's great. And what's great is actually taking this, and all of you can learn from it, and then transferring some of that back to marimba playing. You know, that hands-low approach with all keyboard playing is really obviously a good thing for accuracy and facilitating moving around the instrument. The only thing I would offer to you here is just a kind of a suggestion for the future, and it's not really a comment. It's certainly not a knock on your performance. You know, musically speaking, you're doing a lot of great things. There's a lot of great shape to it. You can try playing these pieces straight eighth feel as well. So you're choosing to swing it, and a lot of times we do choose to swing ragtime because it sounds like jazz. Of course, it was actually a predecessor to jazz. So it's appropriate actually to do it both ways. A lot of times you will hear it as straight eighths, kind of a loose straight eighth. So not but instead of so trying to find that kind of that middle ground. I think you're kind of playing around with it a little bit. It also depends on the rag. The Rainbow Ripples has a lot of it is just eighth note bass. But if you've played any other rags, or if any of you try to play any other rags at some point that have a lot of rhythmic variety to it, so eighth notes, then dotted 8/16ths, then triplets all in the same rag. Log Cabin Blues is a good example of this. Try really kind of focusing in on what those rhythms are specifically and staying true to them in order to pull things apart. But you could actually try a version that you know goes to different sides of that spectrum, from swung to straight and everywhere in between. In the costumes, clearly that's part of the gig here. Yeah. Well, that always scores extra points, you know. No. It's really nice overall, enjoyable to hear. Like I said, it breaks up my day to actually have an ensemble in here. You all play well, so thanks. You're done. Are y'all driving back today?
Yeah.
Wow. Is this the last thing you have?
No, we've got one more vibe solo.
Okay.
Trying to get him in as quick as possible.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I know the drive. We go down there for family once or twice a year. So
I wish we could